Okay, I turned on the live stream, so I'm just setting up here, guys. Let's see. Okay, everything seems to be working well. Just a few more things to set. I hope everyone can hear me okay, so if you can hear me, please tell me in the comments. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Good to hear. Well, hello everyone. I am back from my long trip. It was a very long trip from the end of January to mid-February. I was traveling. So I am back, and I'm back doing the live streams. So it's good to see everyone again. If you don't know me, my name is Robin Shaw, and I am a teacher, an English teacher, and I've been teaching English in Korea for 20 years. And I have another channel. You can see the in the links next to my head over here that I have other channels and other ways to contact me. So if you're interested in contacting me, please check out Facebook or links below, especially WhatsApp. I like to interact with my students in WhatsApp. So if you're interested in talking to me and joining my communities, Facebook and WhatsApp, these are the best ways, but I also use many kinds of apps. Anyway, I'm just going to check who's in the room now. So if you're in the room, let's see. I see, well, Layla, Maya, and Prakar, you guys are there. Carrie, Latfi, Zakaria, Andre, Mutaz, Hassan, hello. Adele, Bakri, hi, welcome back. And Prakar is already into the question, the first question. Hey, Robin, how was your journey? Well, if you are new and you're watching me now and you want to participate in the chat, it's very important because I'm always reading and answering people's questions from the chat. You need to log into YouTube and you can join the chat. So join the chat if you would like to participate. So in this video, I'm going to talk about, it's not a very complicated video tonight, guys, because it's my first video coming back. So I got to get used to everything. And remember, I'm very shy doing this, so I have to get used to talking to the camera and mic again. But I'm just going to talk a little bit about my travels, and that's about it. And if you have any questions about my travels, feel free to ask. All right, and I see Yola, B, hello Robin, and Hang Tong. Hello Robin, welcome back. I'm Keith in WhatsApp group. Nice to see you. Okay, oh Keith, yes. Yeah, welcome everyone. So as I think a lot of you know, where did I travel? Well, I first started, I think around December 25th, Christmas, I went to Hawaii for a couple days for just a rest. And then I went to California in USA. And the reason I went to California was to meet one of my teachers, Esther. Some of you may know she makes videos on my other site, but soon she'll be making some live streams on this site. So we're trying to get her first live stream here, maybe next week or the week after. Esther will do a live stream. So I'm not going to be the only one doing live streams on this channel. There will be other teachers. The first teacher is Esther, and then hopefully many other teachers will teach on this channel live for you guys. So I'm working on that. So expect Esther maybe 1 or 2 weeks to do a live stream. So anyway, I went to California to help Esther teach her how to do a live stream. I got her some equipment, and in the next week we'll probably practice, and then she will do a live stream. So that's why the main reason I went to America. So that's what I did. After that, I traveled around America for a few weeks. I went to like places like the Grand Canyon. I'm not going to show photos here because 2 reasons. First reason, I don't take many photos. You know, my hobby is traveling, so I've traveled a lot, and usually I don't take many photos of places. And the second reason, I'm shy. I don't want to show my photos because, you know, I'm usually traveling alone, so I got to take selfies, and I don't feel, I feel kind of ridiculous always showing selfies, so I'm not going to show those photos. I might show it on the Facebook, so if you join Facebook, I might show some photos there. Assam Sakir. Hi, how are you? I'm fine, Assam. Welcome. Abdiaziz Ahmed. Hey. Hey. You said Britain people. I mean, some English native speakers will come to teach us. Latvia, I'm working on getting teachers here. Carrie. Carrie asks a sentence. Carrie Page, I'm looking at the chat. I'm always looking at the chat. What was the most difficult part of your entire trip? The most difficult, you know, I love to travel, but the most difficult part was my trip was too long, okay? Over a month, maybe a month and a half of traveling every day. That was very difficult. I think in the future, I think a maximum of 1 or 2 weeks for travel. I'm not going to travel a month or over a month again. So that was the most difficult part, Carrie. And your sentence is right. You have correct grammar. Good for you. Sam, is your traveling good? So you should ask, is your traveling good with a question mark? Yeah, I enjoy traveling. I had no big problems traveling. You know, there's some small difficulties, and maybe I'll talk a little bit about that. Christian, a beard. You look different. I think the journey was great. You look like Lionel Messi, the soccer player. Do you know him? I think he's a soccer player. I'm not a soccer fan, but he's a soccer player. Some people joked that I'm starting to look like Jesus with the beard. Grace, of course. Hello, Grace. Nice to see you here. Your beard looks great from Pakar. Thank you. Usually, every year, spring, well, because I usually travel in January and February, so at that time I grow a beard. So every year, January, February, I usually have a beard, and I usually shave my beard mid-March. And I've been doing that probably for 5 or over 5 years. That's just the season. It's beard season for me. Sometimes I grow a beard in early fall, but thank you for saying looking great. My beard, you know, starting to get more white lines, so I don't know if I like the white lines, the white hairs. Seema, welcome back. Thank you very much. Lutfi, so the new teacher use American accent. Well, Lutfi, I'm planning many teachers. Some teachers American accent, some teachers British accent. That's going to take me a few months to organize. Esther has American accent. But I'll be sure to find a teacher with a British accent as soon as I can to do live streams here. Grace, does it make you warmer? I think you're asking about the beard. And no, I don't think a beard makes me warmer. I never thought about that, but it's cold as cold. Lutfi, you're more like a man with your beard. It's awesome, sir. So before, when I had no beard, was I like a woman? And SM, did you plan new projects with Miss Esther? Yeah. So when I was in America, I made some easy videos with Esther, and we made some plans for the future. So she's going to be very active on this channel and my other channel, Shaw English Online. So she'll be active on both channels. You can see her maybe at least 4 videos a month. Maybe 2 or 3 of them are live streams. I don't know. Esther's very busy. She's studying her master's right now. And so your SM's waiting for Esther. Yeah. A lot of students like female teachers to learn English. I understand. It's very difficult for male teachers to get a big audience on YouTube. Usually female teachers get really big audiences. So hopefully Esther gets a big audience. Okay, I got to talk a little bit of my travels. So as you know, I went to USA. But after the USA, I went to Mexico. And then Central America. And Mexico was okay because Mexico gets a lot of tourism. So it was very easy to move around Mexico. I rented a car. I went some places in Mexico, and I could get around with English. And then the next country I went to after Mexico was Belize. And Belize, they speak English. They're part of the British Commonwealth. So I went into Belize, and they spoke English really well. They're fluent in English. I was very surprised. But then after Belize, I went into Guatemala. And in Guatemala, they don't speak English. And I had a shock, okay, right away. You know, they're Spanish speaking because they used to be colonies of Spain. But as soon as I hit Guatemala, it was very, very difficult for me to get around, talk to people, because their English, they didn't have English. Most people didn't speak English. They spoke only Spanish to me. And bad news, I don't speak Spanish. I know maybe 5 Spanish words, like hello, thank you, things like that. But it was very difficult for me to move around Guatemala and then the rest of Central America because not many people, almost nobody spoke English. And I was very shocked because when I travel in Asia, when I go to countries, usually English, I can get around. Most people know some English, but starting with Guatemala, it was a few words of Spanish and a lot of sign language or body language, sorry, to help me. There weren't many tourists in those countries, so that's probably why they don't learn so much English, or because there's just no tourists. So from Guatemala, I went to El Salvador and Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama. So it was a long trip. I went through all through Central America, and I had to learn Spanish as I went along. I'm not good at learning languages because I've been in Korea a long time, and I'm not even close to fluent in Korean. But to survive, you have to learn some of the language. Spanish is a beautiful language to listen to, and my biggest regret was that I didn't learn Spanish before I went. So if I could talk to myself, 6 months ago, I would say, "Hey, Robin, before you go to Central America, maybe learn Spanish for 1 month, 2 months. That'll make your travels easier and more interesting." But I did not do that, so I had to suffer. In the future, I plan to go to South America. So if I go to South America, certainly I will prepare learning Spanish and some Portuguese. So I learned a good lesson. Asia, wherever I traveled in Asia, English was enough, but in some countries, you got to learn the local language. So I have a question for you guys, my audience. If I traveled to your country, do you think I could move around your country only with English, or do I need to learn your local language? Grace, is Spanish a good language for traveling? Yes. If you're traveling to Spanish countries, Spanish-speaking countries, learn. Well, you don't have to be fluent in Spanish, but you should learn survival Spanish. So survival of any language is, where's the toilet, or how do I catch the bus, or where do I catch the bus, things like that. You should learn survival. Jida K, hi. SM, sir, can I ask you if your tone is this, or you speak slowly to understanding you? I think you're asking about my voice or how fast I'm speaking. I've been a teacher for 20 years, so yes, I speak a little slower for my audience or for my students. So I'm not speaking as fast as I would if I was talking to another native speaker. If I was talking to another Canadian, we would be probably speaking very fast, using a lot of slang and cultural expressions, things like that, and it would be more difficult for you to understand. But as a teacher, I kind of clean up my language a little bit and use a speed that is good for most students. Layla, do you think you'll learn Spanish in the future? Yes, I will learn. I will study Spanish in the future to get survival Spanish. Kevin, subtitled movie clips. Hey, Robin, it's been so long. Yeah, I'm back. Prabin, Shretha. How about alien language? I don't know any alien language. You look better with the beard. Thank you. Very good. Thanks for your support. Thank you for watching. Jita, how's it going? Waiting for learning English. I'll talk about that in a moment. Congratulations for your help, Mr. Robin, because you always take time to leave us messages in group. That's great. Christian's talking about the WhatsApp groups. If you're not in my WhatsApp group, check the links. Join my group. My question, could you give us a plan that we can follow to get better our English, to improve our English? Yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit later. I'll just talk about travel right now, and then after I'll talk more of your English questions. Carrie Page, what is your favorite country in Central America? That's a difficult question because I don't want to make some of my students angry if I don't choose their country. Every country in Central America was special. They're good for their own reasons. I enjoyed every country, and I would be happy to go back to every country. But I was very impressed with Costa Rica and Panama. Those countries were a little more developed than the other countries, so they were more modern. But they had problems too. Every country has good things and bad things. Grace, do you think my English skills are enough to survive? Grace, you're beyond survival English. Your English is great, Grace. Lutfi, you can hear in Indonesia with your English, but you need a little bit learn Indonesian language to more your journey more perfect, to make your journey easier. If you want, it's okay. We still understand all what you're talking about. Well, Lutfi, I've traveled to Indonesia. I've went to Jakarta and Bali. And of course, both of those places, it's very easy to get around just with English because a lot of tourists or foreigners travel to Jakarta or Bali. But if you travel outside those areas, I'm sure I would need a little more Indonesia, or need to know the local languages. Subtitled movie clips. If you come to Israel, Israel, I'd love to go to Israel. It is not needed to learn a local language. English is enough. Hebrew, I think you speak Hebrew, right? In Israel. Yeah, I think English is enough. Hi, Mr. Robin. Greetings from Abu Dhabi. How was your journey? My journey was great. Prabin. Very interesting question from Prabin Srestra. Sorry if I do not pronounce your names correctly. Does grammar really matter to speak with people? Well, if you're just a traveler like me, not really, if you have broken English, or I was speaking very broken Spanish by the end of my trip, people understand the meaning or what you're trying to say. So the whole point of language is you want to send information or get information from someone. So with broken Spanish, I was able to tell people what I needed help with or what I was looking for, so that most people understood. But I spent a few weeks in Spanish-speaking countries. In the future, maybe 5 years in the future, I'll go back to Spanish-speaking countries. So I don't really need to learn to be fluent in Spanish. I just need a basic survival in Spanish. If I plan to stay in a Spanish-speaking country for a longer period, let's say 6 months or over 6 months, years, certainly you should try to improve your grammar. Everyone here, you should improve your English grammar, because English isn't Spanish is an international language, but of course English is a little bit more dominant, stronger as an international language because it's the business language. I'm going to make Spanish speakers angry because they're going to argue with me. But anyway, I would try to learn English with good grammar. If you're traveling to Spanish-speaking countries for long term, grammar is important. Did you visit any Middle East country? Not really. No, not yet. Maybe this summer I'll go. Grace, is Costa Rica safe? Grace, on my trip, the most dangerous place was LA. LA, central LA, Los Angeles. There's a lot of violence and gun violence. So that was the most dangerous place on my trip. Going through Central America, I did not feel there was any danger. I would, of course, these countries they're developing, they have political problems, they have gangs, they have drug cartels, they do have dangers. But as a tourist traveling through these countries, I didn't feel the danger. I didn't experience any bad people. So I would say Costa Rica is a good place to travel. You would be fine. Of course, you're a woman, Grace, and any country, you got to be a little extra safe than a male traveler. So I'm sure you have experience traveling. You know how to be safe. But LA was dangerous, not Costa Rica. Hello, Robin. I can't read your Arabic name. Can't read Arabic. Should I learn Arabic? Layla, Lily, how did most people treat you in Central America? Most people were great. I didn't. Very few bad people. Like usually the Mexico, I met the most people I couldn't really trust. But the other Central American countries, great. Lutfi, you haven't answered my question yet about a conversation with British. You have or no? I'm not sure your question, but I don't speak British, but I have been to England and I have talked with British people all around the world. I'm not sure your question. Have you ever visited Abu Dhabi? Not yet, but I'll come see you soon. Grace, now I'm understanding why you told me Korean is a hard language. Well, reading Korean is easy. Every language is hard. Prabin, thanks for answering me. Can you do the expression, I am hungry and I don't have money? What do you mean? In English or Spanish? Yeah, Grace, LA is dangerous. I know one of my friends had gotten a gunshot. He got shot. Well, I believe it. I believe it. Lutfi, Jakarta and Bali. Cool. Yep, most foreigners are from Australia. You have to come in my city, the second biggest city in Indonesia. The name of my city is Surabaya. So yeah, I'll visit Indonesia again. I'm just looking on Google Maps for the Surabaya. And I'll come see you one day. I did meet some students in Central America. When I travel, I try to meet students wherever I go, and I met students as I traveled. Okay, I see Surabaya. Okay, yeah, it should be easy to go there from Jakarta. Okay. Good. Yeah, but my travel schedule is usually July, August, January, February. So those are the times I travel. During the other times, it's a semester. During the semester, I'm just working at my university in Korea, so I can't travel. But during the vacations, I usually try to travel, but I'm not going to travel a long time, or the traveling a month and a half was just too long for me. Abdiaziz Ahmed, Mr. Robin, we need more vocabularies with examples to improve our English. I know you do. I know. And not this video, but future videos. I'm planning, I just got back from my trip. I'm planning to make all kinds of videos with teachers teaching all kinds of English on this channel, Learn English Live, and on my other channel, Shaw English Live. And I hope we can make you happy with our English content. Latvia. Grace, how many students have you met during traveling? Tell us detail. How was that? Maybe in a future video. I took pictures. I didn't ask the students if I could show their pictures and talk about them. I have to get their permission first, because if I talk about them or show a photo, they might not like that. But I met a few students. When I meet students, I only meet them for maybe an hour. Just talk to them, get to know about their life situation. I really didn't have much time because I was traveling so many places. SM, are you Jewish? No, I'm not Jewish. You're the first person in my life to ask me if I am Jewish. I am not Jewish. Why do you think I'm Jewish? Layla, would the other teachers be good like you? Thank you for thinking I'm good. Any teacher I bring on this channel will be good. Bogdan Savransky. Are we going to see the teacher Fanny again? Yes, you will see Fanny again. Hopefully she will be doing live streams too. I haven't talked to Fanny in a couple months, but I got a lot. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Hassan Dawoodi. Hello, Mr. Robin. How are you? Hello, Hassan. Grace, you didn't ask permission when you put pics WhatsApp group. When I put the picture in the WhatsApp group, I was with the person at that time, so I got permission. Omar Radwin, have you ever been to any Arabic-speaking country before, like Saudi Arabia? And what do you think the main problem is when it comes to traveling? Omar, your English is excellent. You got two great questions. Except your second question doesn't have a question mark. It has an exclamation mark, but your grammar is great. I have not been to an Arabic-speaking country yet, but I will. Saudi Arabia, I don't know. Can tourists go to Saudi Arabia? I think it's a little bit difficult to get a visa if you don't have a job there. And the main problem while traveling, the main problem is Wi-Fi. Getting good Wi-Fi, because we are modern people and we are very dependent on our phones. I don't have phone service. I don't get roaming service when I travel because that's expensive. So I need Wi-Fi, and it's very difficult to get Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is important for me to check maps and check what's interesting in the area. So that's a big problem, Wi-Fi. Other things, I'm used to traveling. In America, especially California, it's difficult to find a public toilet. There's so many homeless people in California, especially LA. Oh, so many homeless people that all the restaurants and businesses hide their toilets or put locks on their toilets. So traveling in LA or even San Francisco, Oakland, it was very hard to find a toilet when you need one. Other countries, no problem. Someone asked my religion. I'm not going to talk about religion. Maybe in a future video. Tika, hello. I'm very well. I had lots of experiences. Nargis, hi Robin. Hello. Probin, sing a little bit. Oh, the last thing I'm ever going to do is sing on the live stream. You have to pay money if you want me to sing. Prakar, did you go somewhere via sea route during the journey? What do you mean via sea route? On a boat? Do you mean on the boat? I didn't take any boats. Just airplanes and buses. Hassan. Christian, when you are traveling, do you try to know the culture of this country or only for specific goal? I've traveled a lot, Christian, so I kind of know, and I've been to university and studied world history in different parts of the world, so I kind of know the different kinds of cultures and the problems, and I read the newspaper about these countries. So when I went to Central America, I already knew a lot about Central America, but when I go there, I'm not really a cultural tourist. I'm not going to a lot of their. I try to go to the most famous sites, but historical sites I don't really go to, and I'm not really a foodie, so I'm not really interested in trying all the different kinds of foods in that culture. So I guess I'm picky when I travel because I just kind of travel to a place, see what I want to see, and talk to people. If I can talk to people, that's always great. But I don't try to see too much of the cultural stuff. Sorry. That's just I've been traveling for 20 years. So 20 years ago I used to be, let's eat this and let's see that, but I kind of got bored of that kind of traveling. So I look more for adventure when I travel. I try to do things that are really exciting in these countries. So for example, in where was that? That was Nicaragua. I went to a place called Granada, and Granada has a volcano, active volcano. So, I went up the volcano and I can see the lava. That looked very exciting. That's nothing to do with culture. That's a volcano, and it's a very natural thing, and it was beautiful to see that. Narges, thank you. Seema, Hassan. I want to do voluntary work for Learn English. Do you have any idea for that? What do you mean voluntary work? I have lots of work. If you want to volunteer, I can give you tasks and you talk to me. Lutfi, when you had a talk with British people, some sentences, some words make you misunderstand. When I stayed 1 month in London, and at that time I studied an English teaching course called CELTA, and I had to study and work with other British students who are also studying to gain these teacher skills. I'm losing my voice now. So yeah, we work together, and I would say I understand British people 99%. Okay, so 99% I understand them, but there's going to be that 1% I didn't quite understand them, and that 1% is usually slang, because slang is regional. Canadian. I'm a Canadian. Canadian slang, Australian slang, British slang is going to be a little bit different sometimes. But talking to British people, their accent is easy to understand. They joke the same. We have Canada and British people have a lot in common culturally, so it was easy to understand. Tika, did you experience a funny incident there while traveling? A funny. That's a good question. Nothing comes to mind. Nothing. I guess one incident I will mention. It wasn't funny. It was lucky. I was in Cancun, Mexico, and I had to get off the bus. And I got off the bus. So I quickly got off the bus, and the bus driver was continuing on to the next stop, but suddenly the bus stopped. And someone put their hand out the window, and it was my travel purse. I had dropped my travel purse on the bus, and inside my travel purse was all my money and my passport. So I felt that was the happiest time of my trip, because wow, if the nice Mexican person, he saw my wallet, he told the bus driver to stop, and he gave it to me. That could have easily been he saw my wallet, he kept it, or he just saw my wallet and returned it to the bus driver later. But that nice person immediately saw I dropped my wallet. He immediately shouted to the bus driver to stop, and he opened the window and he gave me the wallet. Now I was very happy. Wow, because he saved my trip, my travels. Because if I lost my wallet and passport, probably I would have to come home early. So that wasn't a funny incident, but it was an incident. It was a good ending, happy ending. Let's see. I'm about 5 minutes behind on the comments. I'll try to speed up. Grace, except Korea and Canada, have you lived in a country for more than a year? No, but I've spent a lot of time. I've spent probably over 6 months in Thailand. Not at the same time, not consecutively. Just I've traveled there for a month or 2 months sometimes. And China, I've spent probably 2 months in China. Again, not at this one time. I've just traveled to China so much at the time. But I haven't lived anywhere except Canada and Korea. Keith Hengtong, did you meet some new friends during your journey? Yeah, I meet friends. I make friends everywhere. Hassan, may I come to Morocco? May you come to Morocco? I will visit Morocco one day. That's on my list. Lutfi is talking about the Australian friend. You understand 50, 60%. Well, Lutfi, you're not a native speaker, so you're going to have a little bit of difficulty, especially if you're talking on the phone. Talking on the phone can be difficult. Yeah, Tika, I'm lucky. Layla, did you suffer because of changing temperature and weather? America was cold. But when I got into Mexico and Central America, I love hot weather, so I was very happy with the weather. Hassan, where are you from? I'm from Canada. Hello, Stanley. Winnie, have you been to Myanmar? Yep, I've been there maybe 3 years ago. I was very surprised. Myanmar was a nice place, better than I expected. I went to Mandalay, Bagan, Yangon. Prabhan, I could call this live podcast. Well, this is not really a podcast. Yeah, I guess today I'm just talking. I'm not really teaching today because I just came back from my travels, and every day I'm planning. Uh, Tomorrow I'll be teaching. So there'll be a live stream tomorrow, everyone. So be sure to join again tomorrow because I'll be teaching something. What I'm going to teach, don't know yet, but I'll have something for tomorrow. And I'm going to organize a schedule of live streams. So to help you guys learn, if you have any suggestions for what you would like me to teach, now is a good time to write in the comments, hey, Robin, why don't you teach this tomorrow? And I'll think about it. I don't promise to do it. I didn't go to Morocco yet, Hassan. In the future. Prabhan, which one to consider, writing or speaking? You have to study the 4 core skills at the same time. Speaking, listening, writing, and reading. You have to study all of those. You cannot just study one. Grace, when you visited Qingdao in China, I went to, a few days ago I was in China. Didn't you need to get traveling visa? No, I didn't. And when you travel, is it a problem visa? Canadian passport, no problem in America, of course, no problem Central America, and no problem in China because big Chinese cities usually have automatic transit visa. So when I went to Qingdao, I was there for 2 days. I could get, I think, 144-hour visa on arrival. So it was very easy to travel to China. If I want to travel to China for a week, then it's a little more difficult to get a visa. But just a quick trip, it was easy to get the Chinese visa. But other countries, usually I don't have visa problems. Carolina Mir Serapio. Good morning, teacher. I'm Luz from Argentina. Hello, Luz. I needed visa when I visited Qingdao for 4 days. Yeah, 4 days, you might need a visa. China is difficult with visas, but if you're there for a short time, to 144 hours. So if you're there under 144 hours, you can get visa on arrival. Koreans too. Pravin, do we need money to travel everywhere? Yes. It is expensive to travel to Western countries. The most expensive countries have been England, Australia, America. When I travel to these countries, wow, so expensive. Central America, cheap. Especially public transportation, very cheap. But if you're traveling to Western countries, you need a lot of money. All right, Tika, I want to learn common mistakes in similar words like everyday and everyday. I want to learn that too. Maybe everyday and everyday, that's tricky. Okay, I might, that's a good tip, Tika. I will check that, and I might do that tomorrow. Thanks for the tip, Tika. I don't promise that because there's other factors to decide what kind of lesson I teach, but that looks like a good one. How can we visit Canada from Egypt? Well, I don't know the visa situation, but it might be difficult to get a visa, travel visa, tourist visa from Egypt to Canada. And you probably need a good job or your money. I don't know. You might know better than me. Sorry, I don't know your name because it's in Arabic. Lutfi, so it's because the call and I am not a native speaker. Yeah, those are the reasons. Sir, please give me an advice to get rid of my nervous with some foreigner face to face and reading some sentences. although I know what I talk. Don't be nervous. Grow up. You know, you got to get rid of the shy. I really hate shy students and nervous students because, sorry to my Korean students, Grace. Grace is not shy, but other Koreans, very shy, so it's very difficult to talk to them, and it drives me crazy. Grow up. Nobody cares about your English, right? So just speak. If it's broken, who cares? Most foreigners, you know, you're just trying to communicate information. So Latvi, maybe I'll have more chance to talk to you in the WhatsApp group, and then that can help you to realize, you know, it's easy to speak with foreigners. Grace, when you are traveling, do you get traveling insurance? No. I don't get traveling insurance because most countries healthcare is cheap. So if I have an accident or I'm sick in countries, healthcare is usually cheap or free. But I was scared in America because that's the worst country to have an accident. Of course, America is too expensive. But other countries, I'm not worried. If I have an accident, those countries are usually cheap, so I can, you know, I'm not married. I don't have children, so I don't really have to worry about if I died. You know, there's no children suffering. There's no wife suffering, so I don't really worry about travel insurance. Latvia. I mean, when I'm talking face to face with them. Yeah, when you talk face to face, don't be shy, man. It's up to you. Probably more experience talking face to face will help you, but nothing to worry about, Latvia. I've talked to, you know, people from countries all around the world, and I'm never thinking, oh, their English is terrible or their English is stupid. I'm never thinking that. Prabin, what happens when we finish money in the middle of our journey to first world country? Well, when you... Prabin, which country are you from? Sorry, I don't remember. If you're from, you know, Indonesia, Egypt, these kind of countries, you probably have to prove before you get the visa that you have money to travel in this country. But if you ran out of money or your wallet is stolen, your embassy will lend you money. When you go back to your country, you got to pay it back. But usually your embassy will help you. They will lend you emergency money to get back, but you got to pay them back. Layla, which one is correct? I will give you it or I will give it for you. I will give it to you. I will give it to you. Aman Khan, I'm glad to see you. I can't see you. Glad to read your message. I'm preparing for my exams. Well, go back to your exams. That's more important right now. No, Grace, no way. If you die or sick, all students here are sad. Well, I'm not gonna die, and I'm strong. Shihab, hi Robin, hi Shihab Eldin. Okay, thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. All right, guys, I'm gonna finish up this live stream. I just came back to reconnect with my audience here. Tomorrow I will do a lesson. So I'll teach something. Sorry, I haven't thought about that yet. And tomorrow I'm also going to develop a schedule for the live stream so you guys can know because I'm going to do a lot of live streams every week. You can know which day of the week, what is the topic, what's going on. So if you're interested in that, you can check the live stream. I'm just looking at the comments, Prabin. I'm very happy you're reading question, answering back. Cool, dude. That's the purpose of live stream, to interact with students. Carolina, I can't help you with that question right now. Intonation, you probably have to watch movies or TV. Oh, everyone's jumping in with questions. Yeah, same time tomorrow. Probably 4 or 5 times a week. I'm going to try to get 5 times a week, every day a different topic. I don't expect everyone here to watch me 5 times a week, but if you find a live stream, the topic of the live stream you like, then try to watch that every week. Lutfi, when you want to visit here in Indonesia, you need to prove if you have enough money. Sorry, Lutfi, the world is not fair. If you come from a developed country, usually you don't have to prove money. So when I travel to other countries, I don't have to prove I have money. But unfortunately, the world is not fair right now. If you are coming from a underdeveloped country or developing country, trying to go to a developed country, the visa restrictions are more. All right. Thank you, Layla. Thank you, Tika. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me in this live stream. I didn't teach anything today, but we had a conversation. If you want to connect with me, check out my other social media and join me in the WhatsApp. I'm probably going to go to the WhatsApp now, talk to people there. So thank you, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, guys? See you tomorrow. And before I see you tomorrow, be sure to study English and prepare English questions. Okay? Goodbye, everyone, and have a good day or good night wherever you are.